Internet horror has come a very long way, and it can only go up from here. Now, to those that don't know what internet horror is, I will be very happy to help you out. Let's go. So, internet horror refers to a genre of horror that is disseminated through online platforms, often exploiting the aesthetics and technology of the early to mid digital era. It creates feelings of dread, nostalgia, and unease by using familiar digital experiences such as haunted video games or cursed websites to evoke fear. For example, YouTube is absolutely riddled with analog horror, which is one of the biggest breeds of internet horror. Another one that I would say pretty much started, or at least is the foundation of internet horror, is the old creepypastas. Smile Dog, Binge Drowning, Slenderman, way more, way more. But today, we are looking at a little piece of internet horror that I did not expect to blow up. Not the way it did at all. But it became one of the biggest models of internet horror, to say the least. So without further ado, and absolute rimming of the genre, let's hop into Siren Head. Back in 2018, Trevor Henderson posted a picture on Twitter of a creature that he promptly named Siren Head. Let me say this about Trevor Henderson. His online art career has all pretty much been, or from what I could find, let me preface that. His online art career has pretty much always been making these drawings of these, for lack of better terms, demented creatures and posting them online. Not demented, but they're so awesome. If you love horror like me, you'd love Trevor Henderson. So Siren Head gained major, and I mean major, popularity over time. But whenever it hit 2020, Siren Head became the side character of the anime that just took the whole spotlight. So Siren Head took the spotlight of internet horror in 2020, and I mean seriously. Um, you had analog horror videos, short films, video games that some of the very well-known YouTubers actually played. Some of them kind of got sucked into the Siren Head loop too a little bit. Corey Kenshin is one of the most prominent ones in that, because in his other series, Spooky Scary Sundays, go watch the Shogun. It's not a joke. Spooky Scary Sundays, he was getting multiple Siren Head videos. Peak. Absolute peak. Jacksepticeye, 8-Bit Ryan, and more for sure. Another funny thing that I saw about Siren Head that has to do with like gaining popularity and all that, there's a other popular horror game called Poppy's Playtime. I'm sure if you're a fan of horror, everyone knows what Poppy's Playtime is. But I don't remember when I saw it. It was like a week or two ago. Somebody made one of those TikTok edits where it's like the music and then it pauses on a character and it shows the skull. The music's like dun 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 dun, dun. Something like that. Don't. Someone made one of those edits between like an animated fight of Siren Head and Poppy Playtime, and it just, dare I say that Siren Head got to the point where we're power comparing him, compare, come. Anyways, that's the introduction. It was just to give you the basic information on the come up of Siren Head, the staircase to fame, but it's pretty much all it was. A picture, really well drawn picture, like the rest of Trevor Henderson's work that he posted, became an icon of internet horror. Pretty, I don't know, it's pretty fast. I didn't expect it to blow up. I didn't, but it did. And climbed the ladder very quickly, and then just kind of the hype just died down. Like everything that's expected, it's the internet. You know, it's not going to stay on the top forever. But I think in internet horror, Siren Head has a very special place in all of our hearts now. Okay, so this might be the longest chapter I don't know yet, but I guess we're gonna find out together, huh? Okay, so this chapter is all about the danger of Siren Head, which is going to correlate to us people. It's pretty self explanatory from the chapter title, and if you don't remember the title of the chapter, then go back a few seconds, you bum. Okay, so Siren Head is 40 feet tall, looks like he needed a burger, or a few, can crawl super fast, and obvious assumption is a bit stronger than probably any other creature that we have on this planet. But the thing about Siren Head that gets me is that, in all seriousness, Siren Head is intelligent, which is one of the scariest things in any of these, like, horror creatures' capabilities, is to be smart, is to be intelligent. Okay, so we're gonna go over Siren Head's abilities before we go over how Siren Head uses them, which that is actually very important to the nature of Siren Head, but we'll get into that. We will. Okay, so I always butcher this word to absolute oblivion. Incorporeality. I think did I think I got that one. Electric interference, camouflage, and audiokinesis. We're going to focus on these really quickly, and then we're going to get into how Siren Head uses them. That thumbs up. I'm never doing that again, ever. So, incorporeality, or incorporate... So that just means Siren Head does not have a material existence. But with that, that comes with a terrifying idea. If Siren Head does not have a corporeal body, how can it impose physical harm with its physical body? So, for that to make sense, cor- uh, for that to make sense, Siren Head would have to be an in between corporeal and incorporeal. So basically, what that would mean is it can choose to be corporeal, or it can choose to be material. It chooses to be, in a sense, real. If you get what I'm saying, it chooses to actually be there. It formed. I'm not gonna say manifest, but you can kind of use it that way if you catch my drift. And then it can choose to be incorporeal, so it can choose to dematerialize. That's yeah, no. So this next one is actually terrifying in its own right, like incorporeality, electric interference, and that basically just means it can stop communications with devices, so phones, radio, speaker, whatever. It can you know stop it, kind of I guess peek in on the conversation if you're calling somebody, whatever. Like in one of the Siren Head games, it started mimicking the police. It started mimicking police radio, like talking. So that's a form of it going into the radio where the police are going back and forth to each other and all that. This one is very straightforward. Camouflage. And so this one is very odd to me because I don't really see so, from what I have seen in my research and like watching the games and stuff, the camouflage that Siren Head uses is more of just hiding in plain sight. The thing about Siren Head is it's tall and malnourished, right? Or it looks malnourished. So it blends in very well with trees, especially when it's dark at night and all that. So Siren Head's big thing of camouflage has been always odd to me because I've never seen it actually use a camouflage. I'm used to camouflage being like not really cloak, but a change in appearance to blend in with stuff. So Uh, chameleons. Chameleons. They change color. They're sitting on whatever. Octopus do it too. That type of camouflage. What Siren Head does can still be considered camouflage. I'm just not used to calling that camouflage, so I'm just a picky bitch. Okay. Now we're gonna get on to my favorite ability that Siren Head has. Whew. Audiokinesis. So audiokinesis, for those that don't know what this word is, because I'm gonna be real, I had to learn this word for this video. And it's basically just sound manipulation. Now, an idea about Siren Head and audiokinesis, kind of like incorporeality, is you have to think, how long has Siren Head been able to do this? And in my head, Siren Head has been born with the ability of audiokinesis, born or created, whatever. But that would mean that something as powerful as that and incorporeality are just second nature to it. You know what I mean? That means in learning how to deal with people, how to like hunt and all that, Siren Head already has these very supernatural things built into it. So it's this kind of thing to where in my head it's like you have this entity that is built for killing people. It is built for decimation. Is that the right word? It's built for not good things. We don't like what it's built for. But it has these abilities that pretty much make our like utilities and stuff completely useless. And we're humans. We don't throw buildings around and all that with our bare hands. And we're not 40 feet tall, so boxing this thing ain't gonna work. Yeah. I'm seeing a thing on like you ever heard of Predator? No, not that one. Not that one. I'm fodder. Yajuda. Yaj Yajia? Vegeta? Hold on. Yaja. Yeah. They would get completely wiped compared to Siren Head, I swear to God. Alright, so about destroyed my dollar store setup for that. So let's go over real quick how Siren Head uses the abilities. Which Siren Head is a hunter and fully lives up to that title. I haven't found any accounts of combat with Siren Head, and in reality, it's not like we could do much to it anyways. And keep in mind through this entire video, Siren Head is corporeal and incorporeal. What I'm saying here is that at the end of the day, if Siren Head really chose to, we wouldn't be able to harm it at all. Like, we wouldn't really be able to see it either. It can dematerialize, emit high frequencies to damage or completely destroy your eardrums, and to top it off, can stop you from calling anyone or anything for help with electronic devices. There's no, in my eyes, there would be no real way to beat this unless you locate it and drop a star bomba. They don't make those anymore. With all that being said, this next topic I'm about to bring up is very tame considered to the abilities I just talked about, but why not decrease our chances of survival, huh? Need to bring this up because this kind of plays into like the incorporeal and corporeal and dematerialize and all that. Siren Head can, for the long and short of it, Siren Head can change his top. His head. So, the first recorded sighting of Siren Head was from a couple on vacation in Arizona during the spring of 1966. This recount specifically is from the wife, and the identity of the couple will remain hidden at their request.
She was on vacation with her husband, and they were scoping out the graveyards on the way, as you do, when she saw it, rising out of the old cemetery, big as an old macabre telephone pole. Was this some kind of bizarre art piece the authorities hadn't gotten wise to yet? Even as she stepped out of the car, the megaphones on its head screeched to life.
9, 18, 1, child, 17, remove, file.
A buzzing, doubled voice screamed random words at her. At this point, it jerked into motion, striding down the hill towards her.
The second sighting, however, was Chad and his friends 29 years after the first sighting in Arizona. Chad and his friends went hiking through the woods of Tanyard Creek.
According to Chad, his friends got snatched by something gigantic striding through the trees that mimicked their voices. Chad was found alive with a few injuries, while the friends were gone, either taken or killed by Siren Head. In total, there have been 13 reports of Siren Head, and all of the stories were released by the victims.
Another apparent sighting of Siren Head was in Indiana. I'll read this one here since it's just short. One example is a photo of Siren Head in Indiana, where citizens started disappearing, and it was seen on the streets in a photo. Now, there isn't a date on this sighting, however. Siren Head is one entity that we know of to this day. At least I haven't seen anything about there being more than one. This definitely wasn't always the case, though, as we get into the origins or the pieces that we know of its backstory. This might be one of the most shocking parts of this video, especially like if you're new to Siren Head lore, and for good reason. Learning this fact about Siren Head genuinely terrified me, thinking about what if it's real. And I thought the Siren Head lore wasn't going to get longer. I thought it was just kind of where it was. I was indeed wrong. So, Trevor Henderson posted a photo of an ancient cave drawing with Siren Head in it. Quote, ancient rock paintings of Siren Head have been found all over the continent of North America, which indicates that Siren Head is not a new species / creature on Earth. Also, since Siren Head can change its feature when it wants, it's almost impossible to tell if it's the same one or not. So now we know that in Siren Head's lore, it is incredibly possible. Well, take the possible out. It is a fact that Siren Head was a species at this point. There definitely were multiple at one point. But if it can change its appearance no matter what, we won't be able to tell if we're running into the same one or not. Seriously though, Siren Head is a masterpiece of terror from head to toe. From picture to scripture, Siren Head is just well written altogether. And the lore, I don't know if it stopped at this point. There's chances that it's still going on. I'll put some more research into that in my own time, of course. But I highly recommend you go look at Trevor Henderson's art yourself. There's a lot more really good stuff than just Siren Head. You have, what was its name? Well, I think the most famous one for Trevor Henderson now is Cartoon Cat. And then there is, I think it's like Long Neck Horse, something like that. They're all really good. I love the designs of all of them. And if you love horror as much as I do, you'll probably go look at Trevor Henderson, because his art is so simple. The creatures he makes are not complex, but they fill the right categories that you need to be freaky and terrifying. Yeah, but I'm not gonna sleep anytime soon. No. But thank you guys especially for watching and listening to a grown man child yap about his horror obsession. It means a lot to me, and I really hope that you guys learned something through this whole thing about Siren Head. If you like horror, if you like horror and you're trying to get into it, I really hope that this helped you find something to pull yourself into. And if there's anything horror related that you guys want me to look at, research, post, whatever it is, I am very happy to do so. All you gotta do is tell me, y'all. Seriously though, thanks to all of you. I love all you guys. subscribe today to be part of the Beanie Crew. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.